The ads that you ran that sucked could be useful if they're repurposed in the right way. And in this video, I'm going to quickly show you what 4 metrics I would look at for your existing ads and how you can reformulate it, remix them to make top performing ads. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 metrics that you need to analyze. And I've talked about these 4 metrics many, many times, but I'm going to jump into the Meta Ads account to show you these in real time for 2 separate ads and how I would analyze this and the thought process that I would go through. But just to briefly touch on what these 4 metrics are. So the first one is your hook rate. Your hook rate is the percentage of people who saw your ad who watched for 3 seconds or longer. So it's 3-second views divided by impressions to give you your hook rate. Caveat on hook rate. So hook rate is a custom metric that you need to set up and create in Meta Ads to add to your column preset. Like I said, you would just go in there when you set up a custom metric and do 3-second video views divided by impressions to calculate your hook rate. In terms of strong performance for a hook rate, I've seen pretty much anything above 30% is a strong hook rate in my eyes. If you start to get into the 40, 50% range, like that is a really, really good hook and one that you want to continue to use if you want to continue to draw in attention. The next metric is average watch time. So this is the total amount of seconds that someone watched your ad for. If this drops off early, say it's like 3-4 seconds, depending on the length of your video, it tells me that the structure of your ad is off and your hook isn't good enough to get people to continue to watch. And after your hook, the messaging isn't enticing enough for them to continue to watch beyond that, even if you did have a good hook. So use this to decide whether the middle section of your ad needs to be reworked or repurposed. The messaging just isn't strong enough if your average watch time isn't very long. Next one is CTR or click-through rate. This is link click-through rate on Meta Ads. So basically what click-through rate indicates is how strong your message was. Did you portray the benefits? Did you build the pain enough for your avatar or for your audience and let them know all about the product, why they need it and why they need it now? And if your click-through rate isn't strong enough, you obviously didn't portray that well enough to get them to say, okay, I'm interested enough in this to click the link or to go to the website. So CTR is calculated as link clicks divided by impressions. The reason that it's link clicks, because there's 2 separate CTR metrics in Meta Ads. The reason we do link clicks, because link clicks are the people who actually clicked on your call to action link, whereas a general CTR would be anybody who clicked any portion of your ad, and Meta tracks it that way. So make sure it's link clicks divided by impressions to get your CTR. And finally, the one that actually determines if your ad or your offer was good enough to drive sales after they went through the ad, click the link, that is your conversion rate. This is the percentage of people who converted for e-com that would be purchased your product after clicking on your ad. So this is purchases divided by clicks to give you your conversion rate. As a benchmark, I typically see anything at 5% of higher as a strong conversion rate. This is obviously very AOV dependent, and different businesses have different conversion rates that they would consider good. I worked with a brand in the past that had a 1% conversion rate was considered good because their AOV was $2,000. So now I'm going to jump into a screen share to show you what elements in Meta, looking at 2 different ads here, and how I would kind of decipher what components of those perform best. Obviously, the more ads, the better. You'll likely have more ads in your Meta Ads account to work with, but I'm just looking at 2 for this example to keep it simple and quick. All right, let's take a look at some metrics here. So I have 2 ads that I'm looking at, starting with hook rate. So you can see the one on the top is a 35% hook rate. The other one has a 46% hook rate. Now, in general, I would say both of these have a very, very strong hook rate, but the one on the bottom clearly has a better hook rate. This is a winning hook. This is one that I would continue to use and test in creatives moving forward. Like, let's continue to maximize on this hook and use it because it's obviously a winner. Next thing I want to look at here is video average playtime. So you can see for this bottom creative, once again, the video average playtime is very, very strong. This indicates that there's a strong message. The user is enticed enough to continue to watch, whereas 9-second video average playtime isn't super terrible in my experience, but 23 seconds is really, really good. And obviously this bottom ad beat out the top ad in this instance. Looking at click-through rate, both of these are very strong click-through rates at 2.64 and 2.65%. Typically, I see anything above 1.5% is a strong click-through rate in the industries that I work in, with the clients that I work in my experience. But you can see both of these have a strong CTR. Definitely keep an eye on the CTRs for the different ads that you're looking at. You're going to likely see a discrepancy that's greater than this 0.1% discrepancy that we're seeing here. But keep that in mind because this indicates, was the message strong enough Did we build the pain? Did we showcase the benefits in a way that encouraged someone that was interested to click through to the landing page? And finally, taking a look at conversion rate. Despite the hook rate and the average playtime being so much stronger for this bottom ad, the conversion rate is almost 3 times as high for the one up top. So for the people who did click through to the landing page, even though less people watched the ad for 3 seconds or more, the hook rate was lower. Click-through rate was basically the same, like I said. More people were enticed enough to convert because the messaging in that specific ad must have correlated with the messaging on the landing page in a better way. So how can we take the messaging of this ad and repurpose it for additional ads to capitalize on that performance? So in this instance, we're only looking at 2 different ads, but something to think about here would be take the hook from this one. Messaging can be really either one, but take the hook from this one. I would probably take the message from this one because the conversion rate is so much stronger. Click-through rate is basically the same, like I said, and then go from there. But you can see how if you have a lot of different ads in your ad account, you can repurpose creatives and use them and take different elements from creatives and kind of piece them together. If you plan on refilming, you can redo hooks, you can recreate a message, and you can update your landing page as well to better align if you're not seeing conversion rate very high for any of your ads. But in this instance, the data will tell you what changes that you need to make and how you should proceed. Here's a pro tip. When you're filming creatives and then gathering them and uploading them to a platform, for example, we use Google Drive. If you upload them to Google Drive, I would recommend naming them the same exact name in Google Drive that you name them in Meta, so that when you test them on Meta, you can easily reference those raw files in Google Drive so that you can gather them. You can take all the links from Google Drive and put them into a Google Sheet and then put all the metrics, hook rate, CTR, conversion rate, so you can easily reference those specific raw files or those pieces of footage and correlate that with actual performance in the ad account. So then you can begin to review them, take notes, and repurpose them using the different elements and piecing them together. Maybe you might need to do some refilming, but that refilming can be in alignment with what you saw from the ads on Meta, and it'll make it a lot quicker of a process. You can take notes, you can share the document or the Google Sheet with other people so that they can easily see and reference the performance of specific creatives as well. I really hope that this video helped you. Do not think that your ads sucked and it was a waste of time and that you can scrap them entirely if the ROAS wasn't good. There are other elements of your ad that can provide valuable learnings for you to help you save time and save money on your future creative and the ads that you create moving forward. Get after it.